Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video on a project that's been in progress for about 10 years now. So this is my 1962 Chevrolet Corvair Rampside pickup truck. So as you can see, you got a ramp door in the side. And yeah, I've had this truck for, it's going on 10 years now since we started the restoration on it. I've made some videos, like some little clips along the way, and I've never put it together into a video. The quality probably won't be real great from older cameras and things, but I'll try to piece together a video of the project and some pictures along the way. I've got a ton of pictures over the years, and try to get up to date on where it stands with this project. But while I'm in here, I guess we can see what's going on in the shop at this time. We've got a Nash Metropolitan here. Dad's getting ready to get it in paint. It's going to be red. So the owner wanted an engine swap on it. So now has a 4-cylinder Nissan engine in it. Very well done by local mechanic and his grandson. So mechanicals are all sorted out on this, and Dad's got quite a bit of body work done. And that's a pretty solid car. And over here, we've got a 69 Camaro. That just came in last week. So the owner wanted Dad just to put quarter panels in it and send it on its way. So I'm trying to get that wrapped up this week. And we've got a Fox body Mustang 5-liter here. So this one just came in for a repaint. So it got shoved to the back of the garage. It's been in here about 2 years. Got shoved into the back with a couple Corvette projects that came in ahead of it. So it's finally made it up front, and hopefully it'll be painted soon. That's where we are in the shop. And if you keep watching, I'll mix in some old video clips and some pictures of the Corvair project. So this is my 1962 Chevrolet Corvair pickup truck. It's the Rampside pickup truck that Chevrolet made from 1961 to 1964. They made about 17,000 of them over the 4-year span. I think about 11,000 of them were made in 61, and then it dropped off quite a bit for the other 3 years. So this one, in hindsight, I shouldn't have gone as far as I did, but this thing was tore down to completely nothing. Every nut and bolt, anything that could be unbolted from the truck was taken off, sandblasted, painted, put back together. So the undercarriage and the drivetrain has been completely rebuilt, and it's all painted and ready to go. The interior is pretty much done, aside from the seat. So now we're working on the body work now. The driver's side is pretty much done. Aside from the door and this dog leg, it has a little bit of work to go still. But it's coming along. Very, very long project. And I was making good progress on it, and then I moved south, so it only gets worked on maybe 3 weeks a year. 3-4 weeks a year, but hopefully this year it'll be done. So if you're not familiar with these forward control vehicles, it's pretty much a death trap. So your feet are pretty much in front of the wheels, so your legs are the crumple zone. I've only driven it once on the road, and it was pretty terrifying at that time because the steering was as sloppy as you would expect an old car to be. The drum brakes were out of adjustment, so you hit the brake and it would take a dive for the ditch. But I must say, with the engine being in the back, it's very quiet. So these, leading into that, so these have the same air-cooled flat six style engine as the cars. The truck engines are a little bit different, just for truck duty. I think different cams for better torque. But like I said, it's the same arrangement. Air-cooled flat six, like the Corvair cars. Now if I put the tailgate down, have a look at the engine. So the engine has been upgraded from the 80 horsepower unit that was original to the truck to the 140 horsepower 4 individual carburetor setup from a car. So now it has a whopping 140 horsepower, so it should move it a lot better than the original engine. And it's been gone through, everything's been painted. It's really dusty now, but everything's been painted, new seals, new weather strips. This was upgraded to an alternator. I have a completely new wire harness in the truck that was custom made by a company in California to, so it includes the wiring for the alternator, and I also upgraded to an electronic ignition, so they redid the wiring for that, so everything is pretty much plug and play. It looks factory. You don't have anything hacked together, so it looks nice and clean. So if we take a look at the side, so this is kind of the most interesting part about the truck is the ramp side. So you can see in the back of the truck here's the ramp door, and it attaches with a big piano hinge along the bottom, and it folds down to the ground so you can roll or drive whatever you need up into the back of the bed. It makes it very handy. So they also had a load side version of this, which is the same truck except it didn't have the ramp door on the side, which makes it a lot less efficient to use because you've got, I don't know, a 3-foot tall side on it that you have to reach over to get down into the bed. So those were only made a couple years, and there aren't a lot of them around. So the ramp side's definitely more popular than that, but a little less efficient. So if we take a look at the inside, we can at least see the color combination we're going with. So it'll be two-tone. So this cream white is a Ford color, that's Wimbledon white, and the blue is also a Ford color, it's Skylight blue. And that color theme will be on the outside as well. So the top of the roof and the coves, which go down the whole side. Walk around the other side. So the cove, so all the way across the front and all the way down both sides and around to the back will be the Wimbledon white. And it comes in and around here, around the tail lights and the reflectors. So that'll all be Wimbledon white, and the main body color will be the Skylight blue. And I'm still trying to decide what to do with the seats. So it'll be some period correct, maybe like a houndstooth cloth with a vinyl outer border. So that's down the road a little bit. I've got a new black carpet for the floor, and I just had the glove box and the dash redone. So actually I had the chrome redone, and then I polished up the aluminum and rebuilt them myself, and they look pretty good. Yeah, so these, like I said, pretty much everything on this truck has been rebuilt in one way or another. All right, I've got it up on the lift so we can take a look underneath a little better. This truck was extremely solid when I bought it. Like I said before, it came from California, and we really didn't have to do any repairs underneath. We just completely disassembled everything and had it sandblasted, and then primed and painted it and put it all back together with new parts. So all the bushings have been replaced, the springs are new, shocks are new, the entire front end's been rebuilt, the brakes have all been rebuilt, all new fuel lines, brake lines, like all these little springs are new, gas tank is new, all of the air control cables, the wire harness, that's all new. Ductwork, plastic ductwork for the HVAC, well, I shouldn't say AC, just the HV. It was in good condition, so I just painted it with some plastic paint, and it came out pretty nice. Yeah, likewise with the front, there's really nothing to do back here. There's a little bit of pitting from some surface rust, but everything was super solid on the truck. Like I showed on the exterior, we had to rebuild a little bit of this part, but like all of the bracing was perfect. Just a little bit of sheet metal work, that was no big deal. The project for today, the shift linkage goes from the transaxle under the gas tank clear to the front, and the rear of it, where the pin goes through, was really oblong, so there was a ton of slop in the shifter. There was so much slop when it was in gear, you couldn't tell what gear it was in. The lever would just move all over the place. So we're rebuilding that to hopefully tighten it up. And if we look underneath here, everything in the back is pretty much new as well. All the brake lines, all of the ductwork there. All the shields on the engine were those were just sandblasted and repainted. I'm not really planning on needing or using the heater, so we've got a few little holes in the shield that goes up to the heat, but I'm not going to worry about that. So the other project for today, I've got new U-pipes for the exhaust. I'm going to get those fitted up today so I can get some measurements to see how large of an exhaust muffler I can put on it. It has to fit up in this tunnel. So on the trucks, there is not normally a tunnel on this side. It's only on the passenger side, but I wanted a dual exhaust on it, since how it has the 140 engine in it. So we cut out the floor that was here underneath the battery box and made a tunnel to match the other side. And we also filled in, so there was on this side there was a cutout there for the exhaust tip to poke through, and that would have been kind of a pain to recreate. So instead of trying to recreate one that looked kind of half-assed on this side, we just filled in that side, and I'll tuck the muffler up underneath it and just have the exhaust tip kind of poke out underneath it. So today is hopefully going to be an exciting day. We're planning on starting the engine for the first time in about 5 years. The last time it ran, it was on an engine stand, and at that time the carburetors were rebuilt. I went through and replaced all the seals, the pushrod tubes, and all of that stuff, and it ran fine on the engine stand. So hopefully it will still run pretty well in the truck. So I've got a few gallons of ethanol-free fuel. I'm gonna crank it for a little while, get some oil pressure build up, then start dumping a little bit of gas in the carburetors to get it to fire and to pull the gas from the tank. So the tank is underneath the front seat, so it's got a little ways to go before it gets back here. I've got a little bit of a setback. So before trying to start the engine, Dad and I were gonna bleed the brakes. So we started bleeding the brakes, and I rebuilt all the wheel cylinders before the drivetrain went back in. But we did the back brakes, went to the front, and as I was pressing on the pedal, I noticed a puddle under the back of the truck, and the wheel cylinders in the back are leaking. So that's what happens when you rebuild something and let it sit for 5 years and don't put any fluid in it. So I'll know that for next time. But I went ahead and ordered 4 new wheel cylinders from Napa. So I think we'll just leave it apart for tonight, and I'll go ahead and see if I can get this thing started today.